Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, the jeweler himself, VVS Blackout, and today we are going to do a change of pace, and I'm going to teach you guys how to create captions like the ones you are seeing now. Yes, how to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Not that hard. And I also need to teach you guys how to not wear headphones whenever you're just recording a video. Jesus. Captions are a big thing for videos, TV shows, movies. Ultimately, I think that's why subs, when it comes to foreign movies, are such a huge thing, because you can get a gist of what's going on. Even if you don't understand the language, you can at least read it in your native language. And I think one of the most important reasons, personally, that captions are a big deal is because if you have people in a community that have a hearing deficit or are completely deaf, they'll be able to understand what's going on just by reading the captions that you have. And personally for me, I do not like AI generated captions, because I've had this happen to me both times. I've had them either misspell words or add the wrong words into the captions, and then you have to go in and manually fix them anyways. But today I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own manual captions. All you need are about 5 things. You need a keyboard, obviously, a monitor, because if you don't, then how the hell are you gonna do this? 3, Premiere Pro, or else this is just a giant waste of time for you. 4, time. 5, patience. And you're gonna need the last 2 a lot, because this is a lengthy process. So if you're interested on making your own captions for your very next clip, and God forbid your next video, stay tuned. Now, you can use many different programs. There's a big one that a lot of people use that can't afford Premiere Pro, called DaVinci Resolve. And I'm not making a tutorial on how to do it there because I don't know DaVinci Resolve. I don't have any skills in it, don't have any knowledge of it. So if you guys want me to make a video on how to do everything that I'm doing today in DaVinci Resolve, let me know in the comment section, or I'm pretty sure Sam Woodhull has some videos about it. I don't know, the man's a genius when it comes to it. I'm not. Now, Premiere Pro, either you love it, hate it, or someone like me that edits both their videos and clips, you tend to do both. Captions are super easy to add. Again, they just require a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but you'll eventually get it. And for this, I'm going to be uploading a clip that by the time that this video uploads would have been posted on Monday, and it's of GeoGuessr. So make sure you guys go check that clip out. All right, let's go ahead and open up Premiere Pro and see what we got. All right, so go ahead and open up Premiere Pro and choose your favorite clip or video that you want to caption. Then what you want to do is that you want to go ahead and select the text tool and click the video preview, which is the big giant square box thing, and go ahead and start typing out your words. Also, it's very important that you turn on audio scrubbing using Shift S, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'll just put it up on the screen in post. But essentially what that will do is that it'll help guide you on your path to getting the captions done. So once you're done with that, go ahead and click the text box. There's some things that you need to do before we start. First of all, what you want to do is that you want to select your favorite font. Now this could be something like Impact. For me, I'm using Montserrat Black, which is just one of my favorite fonts to use. I use it in my thumbnails, I use it in my captions, I use it basically everywhere. And a lot of other YouTubers do as well. So if you want that, it's not that hard to find. I'm pretty sure Adobe also has the font, so there you go. Before we go any further, I do want to add this though. Do not add more than 3 or 4 lines of text. It's just not going to look right. I mean, unless they're really small words. Plus, it also cuts down on how much a person has to read, which is always good because it kind of helps flow with the, shape of the content. All right, now go ahead and type your first 3 words and then look at the essential graphics column over on the right. Here's some things that I do personally. First, you want to go to the text section and click the center align text button. Essentially what that's going to do is that it's going to make your text come out from the center instead of the left or the right. Also, make sure that your text box in the timeline fits with what you're going to say. Now, second, double click the text, head down to appearance, and set a color that easily stands out. For me, I used 00FFF0. Fits the color scheme of the channel, fits the color scheme of my live streams and stuff like that, and it's a really easy color to read. Set the stroke to about 10 or 15, and then finally go to shadow and increase the opacity slider, which is the first one, to 100, and select the color to black if it hasn't been so already. Third, go to align and transform and align the text horizontally and vertically. Then hold Control and slide the text slightly above the bottom of the video. You can also just adjust it using the box to the left where it says vector motion and just doing it from there, which, by the way, I do want to add, I didn't initially see this until I started recording this, but there is an anchor point or a target or a bullseye whenever you click on position in the vector motion. You want to drag that down to where it's right underneath the text, because if you try to scale it, it's gonna pop the text downwards, and you want it to either pop a little bit up or just directly in the center. Now, fourth, go to the beginning of the text box in the timeline, click the stopwatch by the scale option, and if it didn't do it already, make sure that you add a keyframe at 100. Now what I do is that I hit the right arrow to skip 3 frames, and then type in 110, makes it a little bit bigger, skip 2 more frames using the right arrow twice, and then setting it back down to 100. Now play it back a couple times, see if you got it right, and if you did, all you have to do now is just press Alt and click. Now all you have to do is just keep going back, re-listening to the same part over and over and over again, to make sure that you have that text box perfectly lined up with what you're saying, and then just Alt and drag that away, and it'll duplicate it, so you don't have to go back and keep adding the same scale effect and the same text and the same appearance and all that. It's right there. Boom, congrats, you just made captions. Now if that's all you wanted to do, by all means, thank you so much for watching the video, and if it really did help you, leave a like. But if you want to get a little fancy with it, make things a little bit harder for yourself, I got you. Now if you want to get fancy with it, essentially you're going to be following all the steps that I did, but instead of scaling it in vector motion, we're going to be scaling it with a different effect called transform. First, go to the effects panel on the left side of the timeline, and if you don't see it, just use Windows Effects. Search for transform, and under the distort category, you're going to see transform. Click it and drag that to the first text box. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, because distort has 2 anchor points. What you're going to have to do is that you're going to have to drag them to the bottom, like how you did with the anchor point to set the text box properly, but you either want to stack them perfectly on top of each other, or you want to put them slightly above each other so it kind of pops upward. And for that, you can make your decision on what you want to do and what looks better to you. For me, I'm just going to stack them right on top of each other. And how you make them go perfectly straight down is that you just hold shift and then click and drag those anchor points down. It'll move the text box a little bit, but don't worry about that. Just worry about getting those 2 anchor points to the bottom and on top of each other, or slightly above each other. Now I highly recommend that you do this to the first one and then just alt click the rest of them, so you don't have to keep applying this effect. But before you do that, there's one more important thing that you need to do. Underneath the transform section on the left side where the vector motion was at, you want to click on the scale stopwatch, and you want to do the same thing that we mentioned before. Set the first key point at 100, skip 3 frames, set it to 110, skip 2 more, set it to 100. All right, the 5th and final step, and this is what's going to make it look very, very nice. What you're going to do is uncheck the use composition shutter angle and just play with the shutter angle itself. For me, I like to put it up to 360, because if you notice, whenever the text starts, scaling up and then down, it gives a nice little motion blur effect, kind of smooths out the edges a little bit. And just like that, Blackout Battalion, you now have captions that you have made yourself, and you haven't had to pay a Fiverr artist to do so. No shame to anybody out there that does this on Fiverr though. Y'all are very much respected. But no, I decided to make this video because I had a lot of streamer buddies and a lot of viewers, and just people in general asking me who I paid to do my captions, or if I did them myself, and how they look so professional. Well, now you know why. It just took some time, some patience, a little bit of elbow grease, but we got it done, didn't we? Do they look good? Do they look good? Hopefully. Now if you want to see more of these videos, or hell, even if you want to see this effect where it looks like I pulled the webcam off of the original footage, then drop a like on the video and comment bread in the comment section down below, because well, it's my video, so But if we have no other further questions, Blackout Battalion, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But make sure that you guys follow me on all social media platforms. I have a Linktree link in the description down below that follows you to every other social media site that I have. Make sure to come check me out on Twitch. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we do Phasmophobia, we do community games, we do GeoGuessr. Go check that clip out. I know you probably forgot, that's why I'm reminding you now. And as always, Blackout Battalion, I am your host, the jeweler himself, VVS Blackout, and going dark. I will see all of you in the next one. Keep it brutal, keep each other safe. Until next time, later.